Welcome, Hard Knocks. KK the Destroyer here, coming to you live from the ESPN 8 studio. In the studio today, we got Slick.
Yo, what up, guys?
There it
Your
is.
content creators here.
That's right. And with me, as always, is Greg. Greg, you want to say hi?
Gregory.
Crazy Greggy. Somebody want to put a what is that? Oh
An
man, what's
APB?
APB? There we go. An APB for Greg. Make sure he's alive still. You know, he hasn't been on the pod for a little while. Like, when's the last time he's been on the pod, Slick?
Um, PS4?
PS4.
It's gotta be PS4. It's gotta be PS4.
That must be it, because he
He
was
he
he was
has said he's burnt out with Madden. He never said anything about burning out to be on a podcast. I'll tell
I
you
know
right
it.
now.
Yeah, like I'm a little disappointed in my boy Greg. Like he was always up for a pod, and now it's like, I don't know if I'm available or not. We need a milk carton from Jern on Greg. I'm gonna
Uh,
I'm gonna tag him in chat real quick.
do it.
So, here we are. This is season 3. Is that what we're at? Yeah,
Yeah.
season 3.
Yeah.
Coming off the Panthers' victory. What are we, 3 weeks in right now?
We're in week 3.
Or
Tomorrow.
Slick and I are going to be trying to get out podcasts every Thursday. Try to stay on top of it. So the podcast content creator Slick himself has a couple segments that we're going to touch on today. So right out the gate, I think I'll hand it on over to Slick. He's got the top 5 rising, what was it, owners?
Rising users, owners, you can pick either one.
Uh-oh, what happened to Slick? He disappeared.
Can you not hear me?
He heard me rambling on. He's like, oh, KK's talking right now, so I know I have at least 10 minutes to go fill my drink, because KK's always long-winded, got lots to say. So, let me, oh wait, he left voice chat, so that's a problem. I don't know what's going to happen now.
Are we good?
We can't hear him. That's kind of weird. God
That
dang.
is weird.
Lately, the pod has had all kinds of technical difficulties. I don't know what quite is going on. Something's going on.
Are we good
Okay.
now?
Oh, we're good now. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because you sounded weird on my end, but
Oh,
we're still here.
okay. We're still here. Everything's cool. So, top 5 rising owners. Is that what you had for us?
Owners, users, we here at Hard Knocks Incorporated like to come up with some new things because people were complaining we don't do enough. That's one of
Right.
the many things they
Yeah.
complain about during the day, but that's one of them.
That's one of the things.
Um,
Like,
so we have a top 5, my top 5 um, users that have they're catching some steam. Some teams you need to keep an eye on. We're gonna go from the last one. We're going with Niles. Niles has had a busy year 3 in HK between challenging KK and Mikey to complaining about passing and running. But he's on the rise right now. One week he's gonna kill you with a Kang running 10 times in a row. He don't care. You got to stop him. And then the next game, he'll decide he's going to throw 10 passes in a row. So he's catching some steam. Then number 4, we got Mr. Resurrection, John, who failed to. I don't know if he got a win last year. He might have been one, but he's starting off way better than he did last year. 1-1. I think he's going to be 2-1 because he plays Saints tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But he's 100% focused on next gen Madden. He'll tell you he's not right than nothing because he's always a solid user. But I made this list specifically for next gen Madden.
right. Yeah,
So
because
number
that's the big
3,
thing is JJ or John JJ. John said he was struggling with that transition back and forth. So he was good on PS4.
I would expect that not to be much different in PS5. So I am interested in what you're saying for having him on the rising list for sure. And
Yeah,
as
he's had
far
a
as
busy offseason.
oh yeah, and then Niles starting out 2-1, that's solid.
Yeah.
Did you look at Niles's opponents at all?
Well, he just beat Mikey,
Oh, come
who's
on, Mikey's nothing. Mikey's trash.
Mikey. I mean, he beat Penn,
And
and
he beat I know you see it. So
he has. I know you see it has yet to win a game. So he's
whew,
struggling over there.
yeah,
Um,
tight game.
tight. It was tight.
And then he
But
lost to
let's see.
the Turd Ticklers in week 2, which is kind of wild. That's a new user coming in
Yeah,
for the Texans. But I
yeah,
agree. I
I don't
think
know.
I know you see it's good, and the Colts made playoffs, so but he does struggle with stopping the running back. That's all I'm gonna say. So go on.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number three. I'm gonna give a hint. This user has a cousin in the league. And then the person on my list is not Mr. Flats. Number three would be the Bengals. Um,
The
he
Bengals.
came. The Bengals is on the rise.
Okay.
Um, he's taking a Bengals team with Joe Burrow, who has not gotten his throw power to 93, unlike some people we know.
That's right.
Um, but he came in the league and he just started winning games. He let his cousin know that I'm the better Madden cousin. I'm gonna let you know what's up. And he has a solid record.
Yeah, he's doing well. I'm looking at it and AG thing. So whose cousin is that?
It's Jay Stopper.
Oh, it's Jay Stopper. That's right.
Yeah,
Is that actually his cousin? Or was it just his
That's
buddy?
what I was told. I
Oh,
was
okay.
told that they're cousins.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I remember that because didn't he come in saying his name was P Stopper or something?
I don't know what it was.
That's
I wasn't in the chat that day that
right.
was actually said.
Okay, all right. I like it.
Number two, um, and it's going to surprise a lot of people because this person has not been very consistent with playing their games, and that's the Jets. He's undefeated right now.
Uh-huh.
He's played more games this season than him and Jabbar have last season. That should just tell you. That should tell you.
Right.
Um, but he on PS4 and PS5 when he showed up, he's a good user. He's a good user.
Yeah, he,
Um,
he could solidly play for sure.
um, and he had a crazy of a game with Jay Stopper, which we're going to talk about later in the podcast. But he he's he's been pretty good coming out the gate. So that's my number two.
Nice.
Number one, Michelangelo. Um,
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. Um, he has a Colts team that's tailor made to what he wants to do. Good O line, run that rock, and defense is pretty good. He just beat Penn two
Yeah,
Madden
to
weeks
open the
ago.
season.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's no easy thing. So he's riding high, although he did take an L against Niles, so that kind of drops his value a little bit. But I think he'll bounce back from that. And that's my top five
Nice. And
of rising users.
looking at this division, I mean, they're all 2-1 too. That's going to be an interesting division to kind of track, see how it goes from there. But I like it. I like the top 5 rising users. That's an excellent segment that you just did there. I like it slick.
Yeah.
So I think now we will go ahead and roll right into the power rankings. Because obviously that's always something that everybody wants to see where we decide to rank people and whatnot. So without further ado, we have Slick's power rankings.
This is usually the part of the segment where feelings get hurt, although it doesn't take much to get people's feelings hurt in this league.
That's for
Um,
sure. There's a lot of snowflakes out there.
Yeah. So, we're not going to try and be super long because I use some of the people on this list I've talked about in my Rising Star segment. So, number 10, we got Bengals. 2-1. He's going to be competing in that division. But I would have him at 10. At number 9, we have Explosive Squirts. And if you don't know who that is, that's probably the greatest PSN name of all time. but that's not the reason he's on this list. Dolphins. Um, he's always competitive.
Hmm.
And he right now he has a 2-1 record. He beat Bengals week 1. He lost to Jern week 2, and he beat Jabbar week 3. Um, and that was a 31-24 game. It was close. I didn't see a stream for that game, but I'm
What?
sure it was a lot of passing. I don't know if there was a stream. I wasn't in the chat if it was posted, but that's where I have number 9. And he's in a competitive division. Competitive, I
Wow.
mean, Manny and him only. Psych. No, no, he's not competitive. His division is actually going to be more competitive this season. Mine is Voodoo. I don't know what he's doing over there, but it's going to be a competitive division
That's
for
interesting.
spot number 2.
Jern is saying that you have criminally underrated the Bengals user. He's top 5.
He's top 5. I
That's what
wonder
he
why he
says.
thinks he says because he's in the same division, and we
Uh-huh.
all know how
And
Jern feels about the North.
right.
Um,
And he
Speaking
has
of
not played
Jern,
him yet. Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Speaking
on.
of Jern, he's number 8 on my list.
Woo.
Um, 2-1. I want to rank him higher, but you'll see as my list develops, you'll see why I have him at number 8. Although I do think Jern is a top 5 um, user in this league. But this is people always ask, why don't you make your power rankings according to what's being done in the season? And when you do
Right.
that, they don't like it because certain users aren't on fire yet. They go down the list. But during 2, he's getting adjusted playing with Lamar. I saw that he switched playbooks from week 1 to the next 2 weeks. So as the season goes on, he's going to be higher on that list, obviously.
Yeah, he
Um,
took that first loss to the Jets. I think it was kind of an upset. That probably made you reconsider where you put him on the list because, like, if he starts out 3-0, you probably have him top 5, right?
Easily top 3. Easily
Yeah,
top 3.
yeah. So it's just taking
Um,
that loss to the Jets. So,
yeah. Number 7, I have Jags, Penn himself, which is probably the lowest he's ever been put in a power rankings in Hard Knocks history.
right, but
Um,
he's got that bad loss to the Colts, right? That's what we're
he's
calling it.
got bad loss to the Colts. He'll tell you, Penn and I talk Madden all the time, and he'll tell you that there are no excuses. Because that's just he feels he can overcome whatever Madden throws his way. However, he's humble Penn. We call him humble Penn, not humble pie,
Yes,
but humble Penn.
he is.
Um, um, he won't tell you that Minshew's throwing some crazy passes. He won't tell you that he'll throw to wide open receivers and throw it right to the opposing team's
Oh,
DBs. He won't tell you that.
so you saying he's not going to act like Greg when he takes the loss? Is that what you're telling me?
No, no, because the difference between Penn and Greg are simple. One's logical and one doesn't give up in the first quarter. Um,
All I know is
um,
Penn was really, really close to being 1-2 to start the season, but he got some ridiculous animation off of a pivot route and picked me off for pick 6, and I lost that game. That's all I'm saying.
all I'm saying is also I've never seen Penn concede in the fourth quarter ever.
Never,
He managed to
ever.
do that with Mikey. So that should just tell you how upset he was at
Oh,
that
did he
game.
concede that game in the fourth quarter?
I'm pretty sure he did, yeah.
Wow.
Um, and that's the only reason I have him at 7 instead of 6. But when some people, I mean, for him to get to that point, that should just tell you how angry he was.
Yeah, I mean, we all talk about how bad this game can be, but man, sometimes like I I feel like I just get so unlucky. So I feel his pain, and I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one that feels that way. Sometimes you're just like, I don't even want to finish this game. I'm done. But
It,
I've never
it,
quit. Wait, no, I have conceded a game. I have.
it happens to everyone. Next Gen Madden will do that to everybody. I'll tell you, because there are times I'm playing, I'm just like, I can't. Um, so moves me on to number 6. Michelangelo at number 6. Only reason I have him ahead of Penn, who I believe Penn is the better player, but Mikey had his number last game. Um, both had the same record. Mikey just had the head-to-head on him. And we talked about enough about Mikey in the Rising
Right, and the
segment, so we don't need
Rising
to give
use.
him any additional love.
Oh my God, yeah,
Um,
because I mean, we don't need him in chat like big-headed and stuff. So
exactly, which he already does, because he was bragging about how he works out all day today, and that's the last thing I need to see from him. But so top five, and these top five teams are undefeated. So with further, there's no way I don't have these top five teams in there because they have good records. With further ado, I have myself at number five.
whoa,
Um,
whoa,
I know,
you put
and
yourself in the
I hate
list.
I have to. I
I
mean,
know.
everyone. I mean, if for usually I don't. I especially if I do put myself in, I usually put myself lower. Um, but I am 3-0. Um, I recently just beat the 49ers. My schedule isn't crazy tough at the beginning. I had Cardinals week 1, Saints week 2, and then 49ers week 3.
Yeah,
Um,
big blowout against Frizzle with the Saints, which is kind of a surprise because I've seen him play. And I mean, he's a solid player. You just must have had his number that day.
yeah, and he beat me in the playoffs, so
You had
had to
it
get the
was a revenge
revenge.
game. Okay,
It
I
was
see.
revenge game.
Yeah, you were like, I
Um,
want to hang 60 on you, but I'm not going to break the rules because I'm a commish. Can't do that.
yeah, can't enforce them if I break them.
That's right.
Um,
But yeah, 3-0
so
start. That's a solid start.
yeah. Number four, I have
Hmm.
Jets. At number four.
Woo,
Um,
the Jets.
yeah, with highest he's ever been. But he's undefeated.
He
Um,
currently is. He hasn't played his third game, but it is
not
against
yet, but
the Steinbach, the Packers. You assume that he's going to win that game. No
oh,
hate towards the
there's no
Packers.
way.
Yeah,
There's
no
no
hate
way.
on the
There's no
Packers,
way he
but
loses that game.
he's a new up
He
and
traded
coming
half a
user.
team.
Oh
He
yeah, that's
traded
right.
away his whole team. There's no way. There's no way he loses this game.
That's right. He
Um,
traded away Jair Alexander. Like that's crazy.
yeah, yeah. And he's from what we've seen, he's committed now. Um, and we've seen it where whenever he's active, he puts on a good record. And he
Yeah,
right, and that's where he belongs.
and starting 2-0,
Um,
you know he's going to try to make this game and the next game. So,
mhm.
yeah, and I mean he beat Jay Stopper 41-38 and started out hot with
Oh, we'll
Jern.
talk
So,
about that game. We will talk about that game.
all right.
All right. So our top three. Um, third person on my list, he's gonna be upset because that's what he does. Because he thinks everybody in the league, specifically the admins, hate him. Um,
That's the Giants, right?
that is the Giants.
Of
He is on a
course.
roll right now. He's on a
Ooh,
roll right now. 3 and
wow.
0. He had a crazy offseason. He decided, you know what? I'm not just gonna run the ball 40 times a game. I want to pass. So he won
Mhm.
out. He got DJ Moore. Um, Some people question that trade. Well, you got to live with it. It wasn't as horrible as some other trades, like Tyreek Hill. He also decided, you know what? I need another defensive back, Jair Alexander. Now he's got
Right.
two superstars on the outside, so his team is definitely much improved. Um, he's putting up 146. He
Yeah.
has 146 points to only 50 points against. So he's balling out right
Oh
now.
man, I'm looking
Um,
at the scores here, and he's got 48 points, and 50 points. Like
it's
that's crazy. I mean, he did play the Vikings to start. He hung
week one,
48 on Buns
eight.
though. What's up?
Yeah. Well, he'll tell you I had 19 interceptions in 3 weeks. I was like, yeah, 8 of them came against the user. That's not very good. But it is impressive that you can get 8 in 1 week.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
so,
But I mean,
and he has a chip. He's
to hold Buns to 9 points is saying something. And then I think even the Washington football team, Enemy Castle. I mean, I haven't followed him closely enough to know, but I mean, he put up 38 points, so it's not like he rolled over for him. But still, man, I mean, Giants putting up points.
I mean, in the 3 seasons he's been here, he has always put up points. He was putting up points when he had no receivers, although he'll tell you he had no receivers.
Right.
But now he got weapons. Now those points might be a consistent thing. Usually he's either undefeated going into the playoffs or he'll lose one going into the playoffs. He's going to be upset that we have him at number 3 the way he's been playing. But that's what we have general chat for. We'll get to chat it up with him later.
Right.
Number 2, Manuel. I mean, this is usually a spot for Manny. We don't need to go into depth about it, but
Right.
he's a good user. And he switched things up with his abilities on Josh Allen. Now he has Hot Route Master plus those receivers that he just got. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. Good user.
Do you think so? He played Greg week 1. Do you think that's what stole Greg's soul out for this season? Like, he's so
There are so
depressed
many
lately,
things.
and now it's like he just
Greg-
got routed by Manny.
You
What do
know,
you think?
I don't know what's going on with Greg. He lost to Manny week 1. He said in week 1 he was already burnt out. If he wasn't burnt out in week 1, he was definitely burnt out this week when he lost to the Cowboys.
Right, he lost to Shango this week.
Shango, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who
I mean,
is 2-1 this season, but
Yes.
in last 2 seasons, his win-loss record has been not good.
not
So,
great, but yeah, I mean, obviously Manny's top 5 user, easy, probably top 3, and he's playing the Vikings right now, so he's going to be 3-1 at the end of this game. He played Voodoo week 2, and it was actually a lot closer than I thought. So I got to give props to Voodoo for keeping it close against Manny, because that's not easy. But
Yeah,
Manny
yeah,
easily
with Voodoo,
deserving
you
of
never
this
know.
spot. Easily deserves that
And
spot.
number 1, I would have to say the league's most liked user in the league.
Oh, easily. Like, he is the most congenial person out there, and everybody
Most-
loves him. Like, super great.
You know, he's the golden child according to some people.
Oh,
He's not my
absolutely.
golden child, but he's the golden child.
Yeah, according to some users out there, he is the golden child. I mean, I would say that him and JJ probably really love each other. Wouldn't you say?
Oh my goodness. Oh, they are they're besties. You know,
They're besties,
They
yeah.
follow each other. They follow social medias. They got each other's Snapchat. They got everything. Mr. Eric, aka Cade, aka Panthers, is number 1 on our list.
And you know what?
Some people.
Like, I don't want to take anything away from the Panthers' ability to play the game, but god damn it, I mean, how many users want to trade him good stuff for nothing?
I told y'all. I've been saying it since day 1. You want to give. It's like people back in the Patriots' heyday, because you know now they're rebuilding. But they want to give the Patriots everything. Now they want to give Panthers everything, and I mean everything.
Right. He's always making trades, and I love that he's always in the mix. Like, he's never standing still. I mean, I couldn't believe he was trading McCaffrey, but you know what? If he's not afraid to trade anything at all.
Oh no, nothing at all, nothing
No,
at all.
he-
And
he's
with that
not-
team, it's ridiculous. But he's a Super Bowl champ. He's undefeated. You can't help but not have him number 1. And that's all I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about.
For sure. Oh no, my dog is freaking.
Oh, that dog is not happy. Let me tell you.
Well, he's all of 11 pounds, so you know he's super tough.
Well, yeah, good guard dog then.
But yeah, so I think you're definitely right on. Give him the number 1 spot. He's the defending champion there, and the Giants is in chat, and he actually commented on the stream that he was just trolling. He doesn't hate on us.
We got. That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that takes us to our third segment here, and we're going to kind of review the schedule for the last couple weeks and talk about some upsets. And so obviously The biggest upset I would say would be the start of the season. That was the Colts. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't the start of the season. Second week of the season. It was Colts Jags, was it not? And so
Some people will tell you that, yeah.
yeah.
I think it was.
So is the stat line that I'm looking at, is that the actual game? Like, was that where the concede took place, or was this a force win after a concede?
I'm pretty sure it was a concede.
Was it?
Like when he conceded, that was it.
Whew. Man, looks like he was under massive pressure. You have Gardner Minshew with 7 sacks, and I mean, I just don't get it. Like, I've played both these guys, and Mikey is good. Greg is, or not Greg, Penn is amazing. And so I'm like, Penn, how you lose this game? Like Mikey backs his coverage off a million miles away. We saw him do it against Jay Stopper and then get a pick 6 to win the game. And it's like, is that all I got to do to play Penn? Is just back my DBs up and move all my guys around, and then I'm going to just, confuse them enough? Like, how does he get sacked 7 times? That blows my mind.
I mean, ability is the other thing, and he was eating up his own line. And Mikey he's not hid from the fact that he's not against using his D lineman. And I'm assuming that's what happened.
Right.
In certain instances of the game. He's like, you know what? I'm not getting pressure. Buckner, you're going to lead me to victory. Let me just D-line user you.
And that's true.
Getting
if
through the line.
If you even create additional pressure, like, that can impact the opposing QB's ability to throw the ball accurately. So maybe he's onto something. Maybe he's way ahead of the curve than myself is. Like, maybe I need to use their D line sometimes because I'm clearly a liability in coverage. That's all I know.
Yeah, no. I mean, I could never bring myself to do it. Some people have no shame and they'll do it. But whatever gets you the W, right?
They have no shame. Whew.
They have no shame. They don't care.
Throwing bombs. I mean, because look at these stats. I mean, like, it's pretty balanced. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, 4 catches. I mean, his number 1 wide receiver has as many catches as his halfback. Him and Jay Stopper have something in common. Rushing, there wasn't a whole lot of rushing going on in this game. Looks like there's only 9, but he just didn't have that many possessions either. Like, I mean, he meets the criteria, 9 rushes versus 13 passing attempts, so he's doing fine there. But
ball control offense, it's within the rules, but that'll just get you every time.
Yeah,
and that's Penn. He'll move the ball. He doesn't play like most of the people in here. He keeps it balanced. He keeps it within the rules, but he doesn't mind doing both. And he moves the chains. It's not like he'll go bomb, or dink, and dunk. Like, he does both, so it's harder.
Penn is the death by 1,000 cuts. That's the way I've always described Penn's offense. He is totally comfortable checking it down, hitting the flat, forcing you to then defend the flat, and that's when he's going to just like gouge you and take the ball all the way down the field. So he's easily the most frustrating player I've had to play. So that was my big upset that I had seen. So you had alluded to another one. Do you have another upset that's happened in these 3 weeks? Do you?
I have one, and it wasn't a matchup that people were going crazy over. But once the game started, I see Jay Stopper up. I believe it was 31-7 at one point. 31-7.
Oh.
If you were to tell me someone is up 31-7 and lose the game, I would have thought you were crazy. We're talking about colossal chokes. 31-7.
That's like Falcon level chokes.
It was you don't get worse than that.
Yeah.
He was up.
So this
31-7.
This is the Steelers Jets game, right? Okay.
Week two.
Right.
Score 41-38. He was up 31.
Wow.
I think it was at 31 or something like that. It was it was wild. Apparently there was some Madden luck involved. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but it happens, you know.
Without a
There
doubt.
are sometimes I'm playing and I was like, please give me a fluke, just to get me back in. Like sometimes,
Just give me a
but
fumble. One of those.
give me something. But that was a crazy crazy game.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I remember reading that in chat and seeing that a 31-point lead was just evaporating in front of everybody. So, I
And
mean,
what's
I don't.
crazy,
Uh huh.
what's crazy about it is we talk about how bad defense is on next gen,
Mm-hmm.
rightly so. But Jay Stopper, it's not like he doesn't have weapons on offense. He has Miles Sanders in the backfield. He has D Hop. He
Yep.
has the franchise wide receiver that he has on the block. Like he has weapons, and
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't muster up more than what
Like seven more.
31-0.
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah,
scored
it
seven
was
more
crazy.
points. It was like a seven, a 41 point run. I mean, like that should
It was
never
wild.
happen. I mean, looking at his receiving stats, he's got like 3 catches for Deontay, 3 for Ebron, 6 for Miles Sanders, no surprise there, and 5 for DeAndre Hopkins. Like, and you assume all of that came in the first half when he was leading. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's where some guys just make great adjustments, and clearly the other Mike, because that's his name in DMs. That's the Jets owner.
Yeah.
The other Mike made great adjustments and locked him down. And so I don't know, sometimes it happens. Like I've been in this situation where you take a big lead and then you're like, okay, I'm going to try to do a couple different things, and I'm not really concerned because I don't think I'm going to lose this game. And then suddenly things start not working for you and your opponent picks up 14 points, you're like, okay, well, this is a game suddenly. And then you get uncomfortable, you get a little tight, and then you wind up losing that game because you slept on them for the second half. And I wonder if that's what Jay Stopper did, is he just slept on the Jets for the second half.
I mean, I couldn't tell you what happened. Mind you, he's doing this with the Jets. He's changed the way that team has looked, a majority of it. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't help but think Jay Stopper was like, man, this guy's going on a run. I gotta do something. And he was probably overthinking stuff. Part of it was probably Madden luck. Sure, it happens. It's a video game. We know Madden isn't the greatest, but also it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
for him to come back from that, it's
Yeah, I mean that's not
insane.
going to happen. And I mean, I guess I would say the Jets Ravens game would also be one that is kind of an upset. Like we all hold Jern in such high esteem, and especially coming in playing with the Ravens. I mean, he's playing with Lamar Jackson. Like you would think that Jern would have zero problems. Um, I forget who his quarterback was in PS4, but he was starting with Brady in the PS5 league. And so maybe the transition to a non-mobile quarterback to a mobile one really kind of messed with him a little bit. Like I can't explain why he would lose there. And I'm not trying to take anything away from the other Mike of the Jets, but like I was surprised to see that he lost.
I will say I didn't have during losing that game, but to his credit, that was his first game back in what a
Mm,
whole Madden season. So how many a
that's
month or two, if
yeah, that's
you
true.
want to
Like if
say.
he hadn't been on the PS5 playing Madden, then it's entirely likely that he just wasn't acclimated to it after playing PS4.
Um, Not playing for a while. Choosing a book. He's not in the 49ers no more. He went into week one using the Ravens playbook, which I didn't know he used. But he switched that up after his loss. So he after that loss, he's like no more Ravens playbook. So I mean, he switched it up and he's 2-0 since that game. So he'll he won't have to worry about Jaren.
Right. The other one, I'm just kind of scrolling through week one, and I'm looking at this Patriots Bears game. Voodoo, our very own Joe, laid the lumber on Jabbar, 24-10, and so like I would say that's a solid win for Voodoo right there. Looks like he He threw 1 touchdown, threw no INTs, and Jabbar threw 2, so that's gonna be the key. But
Jabbar, the top 10 player for the most part, but he, just like most of a good amount of people, have not just gotten used to next gen right now. Also, it doesn't hurt that he's, here and there,
right, shows up and then disappears.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like LeBron's jump shot, free throw shot. You never know if it's going in or not. That's the way you can look at it with Jabbar's activity in the league.
Right.
Unless he's playing Mikey, then he's always there.
Always. Looks like Voodoo's rookie running back doing really well, 15 for 134 in that game. So looks like Jabbar struggled to stop the run, and just
That's
couldn't
always
get.
his thing.
Just what the hell is Lil Kevin? Did he went ahead and changed the name? That son of a bitch.
He replaced. He has John as his quarterback. He has.
Are you serious? He changed his name to John? Oh my God.
No. His QB's John. His wide receiver is Lil KK Kevin.
Uh-huh. Wow. Okay, so sanctions.
He has more name changes on his players than he's does wins. It's crazy.
Wow, this is wild. Would have never thought that he would go this low. I got to screenshot this.
Oh, I do. It's Jabbar.
That's it. I'm tagging his
I
ass.
don't know what Jabbar is doing.
This is trash. Do you have another upset that comes to mind while I'm tagging him and asking him to explain himself?
Well, I do, and they're division foes, and they were in a couple of our lists earlier. It would be Niles and Colts. That's because the build-up has been big for that game. Because the prior weeks, this is what happened. Niles, Mikey had just been going at. I wouldn't say going at it, but they were exchanging words throughout the past few weeks in the chat about pass run ratios and different things Madden related.
Oh yeah, I was all over that
build-up-
conversation.
The build-up was there, and this was opportunity for Mikey to say, you know what, Niles? Shut up. This is my division. But you know what happened? He was worried about King Henry. And he bought into the whole, I like to run all game, you just got to stop it. So what did Mikey do? I'm going to sell out on the run. You know what happened? Niles, he's like, not so fast, my friend. I'm going to dot you up, and I'm going to give you an L. And that's exactly what happened. No one, everyone thought, well, I don't know about everyone, but it was safe to say that after Mikey's win over Penn, he was riding high, and people, was like, oh, he beat Penn. We're going to pick him. Nope. He failed everyone and lost.
Yeah, I wonder if he overlooked Niles. I mean, and like you said, I mean, you described it perfectly, which is he had a game plan coming in. He's like, he likes to run the rock. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna sell out on the run, and then he just didn't adjust soon enough, perhaps. And I did understand that in the overtime, they just neither one of them could really gain an advantage, and then there was a 4th down. And Niles got a pick and wound up getting the field goal to seal the game. So, I mean, that's a tough loss. But I think Mikey, had he adapted sooner, he might have been able to pull it out. But who's to say?
Yeah, and the build-up. The thing about that is not only are the division rivals, but the way they were just talking in the chat that made that game a must-see. That we never got to watch because there was a stream, but they lagged out, so we couldn't see what happened. But the good news is we get to see that matchup later in the season. So it should be a good
for
one.
sure. That'll be a definite revenge game, I'm sure. The last one I would leave it with is this Seattle Seahawks Eagles game, and that's our very own Dardar putting the beat down on Buns. Like, that was something that I think not a lot of people would see coming. Tom Dobson, I thought he was supposed to be like the second coming of, Tom Brady or Russell Wilson. I don't know who he's supposed to be, but he threw 5 interceptions in that game.
Buns is a good user, and he did the most Eagles thing possible. Traded Wentz for a backup QB to hold the reins. And you know what happened? We don't know how Hurts is going to do this coming season, but Dobson's having a rough start. 1-2. You lose to Dar. Buns had to go find himself somewhere because he thought he said, "I'm done with Madden. I'm done." Then he comes in the chat today. It's like, "Daddy's gonna go back to his old playbook."
Right.
So
I'm done with
that'll
Madden
turn some things around.
after every single game I play. I'm always done. And then it's like the mob. It's like when I think I got out, they suck me back in.
Yeah. It's I don't know what's going on over there in Philly. But him going back to his old playbook, he should right the ship, and get a wild card spot, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's worried about Buns not making playoffs, but I got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, like, Dar came out, played a good game, threw 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Dar did Dar things. He ran 14 times, got 133 yards, moved the ball, played ball control offense, and threw when he had to, and won that game. I mean, like, congrats to Dar. I think that's a solid win for him and a good upset. So
Yeah. And he's 2-1, which is good. He's starting off good.
Absolutely, you'd love to see it. So, unless you got another upset to bring up, we can move on. What do you think, Slick?
Let's see. We did spend a lot of time on upsets, but since we need our HK whipping boy, Gregory losing to the Cowboys. We mentioned it earlier, but I feel I need it to be said because Greg goes around talking about he's always a top 5 player in HK history. I have taken the Lions I've won my division every year, and we hear it all the time when he talks about himself.
It's true.
He talks about it. Then he plays Cowboys. No one had Cowboys with a shot of winning this game.
Not a clue.
If anyone tells you different, they're lying. He plays
lying.
Cowboys. He plays the Cowboys, loses 22-13. It looks like a close game. I don't know if there was a stream or not. It probably was.
There should have been. Yeah, it's interesting looking at it. Like his rookie QB, or this is sophomore season for this QB, Caleb Bryan. He only threw 1 interception, but the Cowboys ran the rock 25 times, 96 yards for a TD. DeAndre Swift with a very poor showing. Greg's usually pretty good about getting some decent yards out of DeAndre Swift. Only had 65 yards. And, this looks like a Shango game to me. Ball control, throws when he has to. I mean,
he lost to a team with a normal dev quarterback, Jacob Eason. Okay, Jacob Eason. Just let that sink in. Like it's wild.
Yeah, Gregory, and he went 9 of 11, 81%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Gregory, wake up, sir. Wake up. We know you're burnt out, but at least give it a shot.
I tagged him earlier, and he hasn't even responded. I wonder if he's, already in the bottle or something. Like he's nowhere to be found. So that's definitely an upset. I would absolutely agree. I'm glad you brought that one up. Credit to Shango for beating a top 5 user without a doubt. Anytime that happens, that's a big deal. And then I couldn't very well end this segment without bringing up the Texans' win over the Rams. You got anything to say about that? The Texans.
I never played them.
You didn't play him.
I haven't played him. I think he's talking about him beating Niles.
Oh, okay. I'm like Titans. My Titan. Oh, you're
And
right. That's
he spanked them 26
he's.
to 3. Um,
Oh, okay. I see it there. There it is. Okay, my bad. I gotcha. So he laid the wood down, and especially after everybody giving him so much grief about the trades he was making. I can't. I'll be the first to say, like, I saw some of those trades and I'm like, what are you doing? He traded away two superstar players, young and raw. I'm not going to dispute that they were raw for better, higher ranked players and some future picks, but I still got to question whether or not that's even a good idea. Like a 66 overall corner or whatever that guy was, 68. If he's superstar, by the end of the season, he's going to be like a probably 81 easy with abilities,
probably,
maybe
probably.
76. I just don't really, I didn't gather the rationality of trading them for that. But clearly,
That Texans team is so bad. I think he just saw the roster and was like, what in the hell?
mhm.
And he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna trade these guys, get some picks, rebuild the team the way I want, um, and he'll live with it. Um, he's 2-1 though. He
Yeah,
lost week 1 to Mikey. He spanked Niles, and he won a close one against Joe.
yeah.
So he'll be an interesting team to look at going forward. See how he plays with the roster he has there. Um,
Well, I know Turd Tickler from USFL, so he's a he's a fun active user. So I'm looking forward to see what he does. And that's a good win. I mean, that's dominant.
yeah,
Four interceptions. Put Niles in a bad spot, and he's obviously doing it with giving up some big weapons. I mean, he gave up what's his name? I'm forgetting the wide receiver. Um,
he lost Cooks. He lost Fuller.
Fuller. He lost both wide receivers, and he's
Yeah,
still able
yeah,
to put up
yeah.
points. So, give him credit where credit's due.
Mm,
Good upset, or maybe not upset, but just good win.
yeah, solid win.
Yeah. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and round out this podcast here with the top 5 users in the league with no Super Bowl.
With no Super Bowl. Um,
So where
some
do we
people may
land on
have
that?
someone. Well, let's see. Let's see. These aren't in any particular order. I'm just gonna go the way I have it written out on my list. Number one definitely has to be the Giants, though. I think he's up there. He's been in the league 3 seasons so far, um, and he's been undefeated maybe once or twice. And the other year he lost one. No, one for season 1 he was undefeated. Season 2 he lost one. He's right there. Um, and if you've seen him play whenever he streams or someone else streams, you see that he knows what he's doing. He just hasn't gotten to the Super Bowl yet or won one.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's pretty wild. I mean he was undefeated in the first season and then only lost one in the second season.
and he's undefeated now.
Well, he's a pretender in my book.
Any particular reason, or you like to give him?
Well, I just love to give him the hard time because I was one who said that, and I swear he was heated, and he blamed Mikey for
He,
it too,
he hold
which was even better.
he holds on to it to this day, which is the funniest thing. Um, that he'll be at the top of the list. The 4 other guys are myself, Jern, JJ, and Buns. I wanted to get some new guys in, but I really don't know any of the new guys. Giants is the only one um, that I
You
know
put
of that's been at the top contention.
you put JJ in there,
I
John,
did.
the Falcons
I was
owner.
looking at the list. I was looking at the list. Um, I was gonna put you, but
Trash. I'm trash. You don't
it's a
want me in that
struggle. It's
list.
a
I'm,
struggle. It's a struggle. I struggle for you to get to 500 sometimes. I do know you won like 20,000 Super Bowls in that other league.
yeah, I'm trash. Like I'm definitely not a top 5 in the league that hasn't won a Super Bowl. Like I might be top 10, but I am not top 5. I'll say that right now. Like if I had to if I had to look at people who haven't won Super Bowls that probably deserve to, um, I would probably look at. Let me see here. Well, so are you talking just in PS5?
I wanted the last two Madden specifically, so PS4 and PS5. But
So,
that are in the league currently. They're in the
right.
league currently because
Has
we have a lot
Bun?
of them that have been.
Yeah, has Buns won one?
He has not, which is why he's on the list.
Okay,
Um,
so you did say Buns. Okay.
yeah, I
Um,
said Buns.
I would then say I know you see it. I think he's better. Yeah, I think the only other guy that I would add to that list is I know you see it because I feel like he's always really competitive, but just hasn't been able to get any farther than he needs to. John on PS4 was good. PS5, that's another story. So we'll see about that. So I don't think your list is that wrong. And get
No, we
looking at
Jern has been to the Super Bowl, lost. Um, Elstein will tell you, I made it to the Super Bowl in PS4. I just never made it, never won it. So you can give honorable mention to Elstein, but he's trading away his whole team,
yeah.
doing things he wants. But
Yeah,
um,
I would say
yeah,
that
that's
yeah, like out of the list that you gave, the only one that I would add would be I know you see it, and then if I'm adding more, it would be Elstein and then myself. Like that would be it. So that's
yeah, something about
it's
right.
an interesting list. I don't think I deserve to be on it, but I'm not on it, obviously. So I don't think you're wrong in that respect.
Yeah,
So
no.
no. Anyhow, I think that'll go ahead and wrap it up this week. We'll be back next Thursday, give you some more content. We'll probably run down the kind of how the divisions are going after that fact because we'll be a few more weeks in. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you later.
All right, guys, take it easy.